This week's tip is a follow-up on the past 2 weeks' tips where we did hems. And this is a hem you might do if you are knitting something from the bottom up, like the cuff of a sock, which is what reminded me of this. I did this on a sock this week. I also use this technique when I'm doing a waistband on a skirt. And in those cases, you need to have the join be very, very stretchy. So hemming it or doing some sort of sewing technique isn't really going to work. And in this case, instead of having provisional stitches at the cast on, these are my live stitches at the end where I am ready to finish up. I'm going to put my glasses on. And I'm going to fold it, and you can see that I've already done a couple of stitches. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing sort of like a half of a Kitchener's here. I don't have live stitches, I have live stitches here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the row that I've already marked, and I'll show you this in a minute. Okay, and then with my live stitch, like I were doing a Kitchener, I'm going to go in purlwise and then go into the next stitch knitwise. I'm going to shirr that up, and you can see that it's leaving kind of like a little garter stitch head there. But on the right side, what it's doing is it's leaving this nice little decorative detail that is setting the cuff or the hem off from the rest of it. And I kind of like the look of this thing. I just did it on a pair of socks. Now, what can be confusing sometimes is staying on track with the row where you're doing this. And the first time that you do it, I would recommend that you run some waste yarn or put safety pins or something on there so that you stay on track. Once you've done this a couple of times, it's not that hard. And you can see that it's putting this neat little line at the base of all of those stitches. So if I were doing this for the first time, what I might want to do is, if I know that I were going through this row of stitches, I would just run some waste yarn through there so that I wouldn't get off track. End.